Sports Court with 13 on your side. The Case. Has your prediction of the Lions season changed after just 1 week?
Testimony.
Of course my prediction hasn't changed. I pictured this team was going to win 3 games. So far, they look like a team that might win 3 games. The Lions are not a good football team. Were they a scrappy bunch in week 1? Sure. Did they nearly come from behind for an improbable victory over the San Francisco 49ers? Almost, but almost doesn't count. Team's not very good. Nothing's changed.
I disagree. I had very low expectations for the Lions this season, but seeing them play on Sunday was a game changer for me, literally. I mean, granted, they didn't play well for pretty much most of the game, but when they were locked in those final 5 or 6 minutes, they looked fantastic. If they can bottle that and make it move forward into other games, they're not going to win the Super Bowl. They're not going to go to the playoffs, but we could see the beginning of a big turnaround here in Detroit.
Cross-exam. Big turnaround. They were one of the worst teams in football last year, and for 3/4 of the first game, they looked like one of the worst teams in football this year. What type of turnaround do you really see possible with a group like this?
Well, I'll tell you what, Dan Campbell. One of the things that used to drive me nuts about Matt Patricia was every game, we got to play better, we got to work harder, blah, 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 blah. Dan Campbell, after that game, said some things from the heart that really made me feel that this is a guy who's genuine, that's going to put in the work, and I think his players are going to rally around him. Jamal, are you telling me, honestly, that you saw no positives in their near come-from-behind victory?
Oh, no, there were positives. I like the way Jamal Williams ran early in the game. You always got to go with the Jamal, in my opinion. I think DeAndre Swift showed some ability to catch the ball out of the backfield and explode and score a late touchdown. That looked good. Problem was, not enough weapons on offense. The team has 0 wide receivers. The defensive line got 0 pass rush. The cornerbacks got burnt all day long. So while, yeah, the coach looks great and they want to play for him, you need talent to win in the NFL. The Lions don't have it. And that's the issue.
Closing argument.
I will give Mike credit when he talks about Dan Campbell being a genuine guy. I, too, grew tired of Matt Patricia's boring, predictable post-game press conferences.
Got to play better, got to work
harder. Just got to play better, got to keep doing our job, blah, blah, blah. It never worked. The team lost all the time. Campbell's a breath of fresh air. The problem is, it's not the coach, it's the team. This team has 0 pass rushers up front. As I mentioned, the linebackers are thin, and they lost starting cornerback Jeff Okudah to a ruptured Achilles. He's out for the year. The injuries have already started to pile up. Jared Goff is okay at best. He's not Matthew Stafford. I don't know how this team wins more than 3 games this season. My opinion hasn't changed. I thought they'd be bad, and they look bad.
If anything, that game doesn't count because every team in their division lost. So you look at this now, it's a game where you learn stuff about your team. Granted, they have all those problems, but again, I have faith in Dan Campbell. He already said we don't have to pass so much, we've got to run more. They had, I think, one of the top rushing efficiencies in the league this past week. Positive sides, I think Campbell, you're not giving him as much credit as you should. I think he's going to do some big changes this year. It's going to lead to some improvement.
The verdict.
Now the case is in your hands, jury at home.
Head to our Facebook page to voice your opinion. Tell us what we got wrong, or in my case, what I got right, and we'll highlight our favorites next week.
Last week, we asked if parents should let their kids play football in high school, and Randall and Irene thought they should as, quote, it's better than playing video games.
And G seems to agree with a caveat. Football, yes. Helmet-to-helmet contact of any kind, no. And should you tune in next week? Yes, for another case on the docket in Sports Court.